Okay, so I'm gonna keep it super simple. My name is Ian. I'm the lead of developer ecosystem in APAC and India. My main role for Circle is to work with early stage projects who are working in the blockchain space within the region, within APAC and India, who wants to build with Circle. And I'm more than happy to support you guys with our resources, our marketing, and also I execute the grant program. So if you're interested to work with us, please reach out later. Right, so today, a quick intro about myself. My background, I've always been doing dev ecosystem building since 2015. Ran 50 plus hackathons, being part of like accelerator programs for governments, for corporates, did corporate venture before. And I used to be on the dark side. So if you're a founder or you're an investor, I used to be part of your team. I came over to the light, which is more on the building aspect. So happy to be back. Yeah, so again, I know it's going to be crazy later, right? So if you guys are interested to build with Circle and want to kind of like talk to me after the event, even after you leave for home, I'm more than happy to speak to you. So feel free to scan the QR code and then follow the steps, test out our dev console, and then reach out to me on Telegram. It's going to be crazy the next week. I think 1,000 events, right? So yes, it's mad. Okay. So I'm going to quickly cover three main things. One is what is USDC, and more importantly, what use cases is USDC for? And in your aspect, if you're all AI-related builders, how can it apply to you? Second is what is Circle Platform, which is even more interesting. And lastly is how do we support projects, which is through our grant program or credits program. Let's keep it super simple. So before that, how many of you, raise of hands, heard of USDC before? Awesome, great, we're doing a good job. Keep your hands up. How many of you heard of Circle before? Lesser people, okay, can. So how many of you know of Circle Platform? Oh, that's good. Yeah, nice. Oh, awesome. Thanks for supporting. So, we don't just do USDC, right? We have other stable coins as well. It's called EuroC, which is MiCA compliant recently. And more importantly, we have the Circle platform, which I'm going to share a bit more later. So very simply, what is USDC? For the folks who are not familiar yet, we are actually combining the dollar stability of the US dollar with the blockchain efficiency. So this is particularly important for, say, if you are transacting with your agents, for example. Agents are not going to sleep. They're not going to go offline. They need to be able to transact 24/7 real-time settlement, right? So what we did was we combined the stability of the US dollar. Is regulated, is widely used in both Web 2 and Web 3 spaces. We combine it with the efficiency of blockchain, which means it's 24/7 available. It settles almost immediately and is very marginal in terms of transaction costs. So this at scale is going to be very important and very crucial if your agents are transacting at a very fast speed, right? So I think one of the questions earlier for the panel is what does stablecoin, like are agents going to be using stablecoins? Yes, in the near future. So again, for USDC, for those who do not know, I think right now we are close to 35 billion in circulation supply. Every USDC that is issued, there is $1 in our reserve backing it. So it's always one-to-one redeemable. We are constantly audited a little bit too much, but it's necessary. But we are constantly audited. You can go to our website and check what is the balance supply right now. I think it's close to 35 billion right now. So I think more interestingly, what are the use cases for USDC and stablecoins? So I think if you're building a project or thinking of building a project, right, these are some interesting use cases that's happening in the developing world, beyond DeFi, beyond your trading, beyond your investments, right? One of it is inflation battle, right? How do you actually manage inflation? Not so much in Singapore, but if let's say you're in Latin America, you're in Africa region, for example, Southeast Asia, your currencies basically is devaluing on a day-to-day basis. So I know of like families who save their family savings for their kids' education. After 10 years, they still do not have enough to actually pay for education for their kid, right? So what they do currently is they take their local currency, they go and get US dollar, right? The fiat version, but it's not easily accessible, which means they have to go talk to like your black market. They have to get con. They have to pay 10-15% spread on accessing the US dollar, which is why a company like Lemon is using USDC to offer US dollar, the same stability to these families at a much lower rate, much safer and much more regulated, right? So this is one of very strong use case. If you are building an app, that could be something or a use case, this could be a use case that you can look at. Second is remittances. So this is more B2B, or maybe I would say freelancers to B, right? So what happens is, say if today you are doing consulting work and you're consulting a company in, say, US, or you're actually sending money to the US, or you're dealing with a supplier in India, for example. Currently, right now, remittances fee are very, very high. The spread is very high. It takes multiple days to settle, right? It's a very risky thing for businesses to interact with each other. So what RTM does is that they do almost near instant settlement, right? And they actually pay very little in terms of fees. So this actually makes doing business much more easier. So that's also another way that I think there's a lot of projects that I'm dealing with that are in this space. It's a huge space, especially in Latin American and Indian market, and also the African market. So you guys can consider. Okay, so that's USDC in a nutshell. What is Circle Platform? So Circle Platform, how does it actually apply to, say, if you are building AI? Is that every agent, I believe, would have a need to have a wallet, right? Because on the blockchain, if they're transacting on a blockchain, they have to have the ability to store and also prove that they did something or they have something, right? So every agent would have a wallet. And I believe it's going to be multi-chain operable, right? It's not going to be just single chain. So as a developer, do you put your resources in the AI aspect, or do you want to be building wallets, right? Do you have the team to build both at the same time? Where do your funding go, right? So in this case, what we do is we actually have, of course, the base fundamental layer, USDC and EURC, which is a stable coin, which your agents can transact on. But more importantly, what we have is programmable wallets. I think I'm not going to talk about the other two, but I'm going to focus more on PW, right? So for programmable wallets, think of it like an embedded wallet as a service, right? What happens is that we actually have API or SDKs in a very familiar Web 2 format. So in JavaScript or in, say, React, for example, you use that and you integrate it within your application, or say in future, I'm talking a project to actually integrate it with an agent network, for example, to allow agents to very simply own wallets at scale, and then they'll be able to tap on the features of the wallet. So I think there are some points here if you can take photos. But then the key thing is that number one is familiar, because we actually built with REST APIs and SDKs, which means your developers don't have to be particularly trained in Web3. For example, we work with Grab, and Grab actually spends 0 hours on blockchain development, right? And we actually power their app with the programmable wallets for their NFTs, vouchers, for example. So that was a campaign that we did with them. Second is that we support multiple blockchain. As of last week, we officially onboarded Arbitrum as well. So we have Ethereum, Solana, Arbitrum, Avalanche, and Polygon. So these are the 5 main chains that we support with the wallets. So if you want to have your agents have multi-chain or interoperable wallets instantly, then this is potentially something that you can look at. It's secure, so we actually use our MPC security built in. And of course, you can actually pre-sponsor the gas, so your agents don't, I mean, in this case, maybe the agents can already calculate and pay for gas themselves. But if you want to kind of like reduce the complexity, you can actually use the gas station feature, which you can pre-sponsor the gas fees, and then your agents can then draw down from the gas fees as they transact on the wallet on the blockchain. So it's going to be much simpler. So there's a couple of things that you can look at. And yeah, I think CCTP, I'm going to probably just very quickly go through it, because USDC supports natively about 15 to 16 chains. CCTP allows you to do direct one-to-one transfer natively on different chains. So we don't actually lock in the tokens, or we don't actually do a bridge version. It's basically, if you transfer USDC from Solana to Ethereum, you actually send it to burn on Solana on the source chain, send it to us to do attestation verification, and then after that, we will mint it on the destination chain. So there's no more fragmentation in terms of that. That's more for like users who don't want to see USDC.E, USDC.S, USDC.T, whatever, right? So you want to see just USD or USDC. This is a solution that you can potentially use. If your agents are operating in the cross-chain environment, this could also be a fundamental tech layer that you guys can tap on as well. Just going to remove complexity of the environment. Okay, so again, USDC grant program, I run it. So currently right now, we are doing up to 100K of USDC grants per project. But in all honesty, first-time grantees usually will do about 25 to 30,000 depending on the needs of your project. How we execute the grant is very simple. We have a milestone basis. We don't throw money at you, right? So what we do is we co-create with you. We understand your project needs and your milestones. Milestones, we have 2 types. One is product integration milestones. Second is commercial traction milestones. Product integration milestones is very simple. If, say, we pre-agree that, say, you are interested in getting value out of programmable wallets or CCTP or something else, right? We can build that into the integration milestone. And once you integrate it successfully on mainnet and you launch it live, we will disperse the funds. Second kind of milestones are commercial traction milestones, which means, say, we pre-agree that you aim for 1,000 MEUs or 50,000 monthly transaction volume, for example, right? We pre-agree on that. It's co-created with you. It's within your roadmap. It makes sense for your business. Then we will settle on that. And then that will be a second milestone. So that's how we actually work in terms of the USDC grant. But beyond the financial side, a lot of projects like that, we actually work with them on the co-marketing front. So if you guys are heading to Breakpoint, I'll be there. We have a booth there. And if right now we have a project that we actually part of our grant program, we will feature them and have them tell their story at our booth. We're going to do this constantly at every other major conference that we're doing. So this is part of also like how we support projects that is working with us. Finally, of course, you can skip all the help desk and all the tickets. You work through me, and I will point you to the right person in a 1,000-man organization within Circle who exactly you need to work with, right? So if you work with large corporations, that's the headache. As a small project, work through me. I'll tell you this is the person. I'll do the connection, and then you can continue to progress with Circle, right? So there are three main values that we work with. Yes. So this is a bit outdated. I think we dispersed about committed about $1 million in grant since April. We selected about 40 plus projects already. It's all worldwide, but of course my preference is APAC projects because I'm from here, right? So of course if you're here, do reach out to me. Even if you're from out of town, still reach out to me. I'm more than happy to help you. And yeah, we have a credits program, which is relatively simple. Like all SaaS projects, you have credits, $100 to $1,000, depending on your needs. But that's really for you to deploy it when you're actually really using the product, right? So, also ultimately, that's all the projects we have, all the support structure we have. If you are interested in working with us, you have some idea on how you want to work with us, do scan a QR code, let me know. We can catch up later. Event. Thanks for having us. Thank you.
Thank you, Ian. Ian, thank you so much. Any question for Ian? No? So you guys always catch us with Ian privately, and he will be available. Oh, you want to have a question?
Yeah. Hi. So which AI projects right now have you guys partnered with? Any AI projects currently?
I don't like to publicly say names, but you can talk to me later. But I do see some projects that I would like to support on a grant basis as well. I think this on the panel, if you were here, I was talking about IP-related projects or say social metaverse type of projects where it's more gaming related, for example. Infrastructure or ecosystem type of projects as well. So say if you're enabling people to build on an AI, easier, low code, no code, for example, those are projects that we would love to have a chat with. But of course, we don't just work with AI projects, we work with all types, right? So yeah.
Thank you so much for your questions. All right. Thank you, Yan.